Right, so we've got all our racking in now. So now what we need to do is start on our shelves. So we need to choose what is going to be the lowest shelf in the room. Now, I've obviously got my roach colonies, which I tend to put on the floor all around the bottom. And I also keep my sturmies down on the floor as well. So it's a good option to try and work out what is going to be your tallest item that is going to be on the floor, and that will give you your height for your shelves. So easy enough to do. All we do is we put our box up to where we want our brackets to be, and there you go. It's as simple as this. So we can literally just put them in and follow them around the room. This way it saves us having to measure anything, because there's always a chance that we can measure wrong, and then it throws the whole thing out the window. So we literally just follow along. Simple as this. You see? And we can see there that we've got plenty of room. We can pull our trays out. There we go. Them ones are in already. We've got one here. So we need one more bracket. One more. That was a bit loud, weren't it? One more bracket. And there you go. So there we're in. Now some of you sharp-eyed guys would have noticed we've put an extra bracket in here. Let me just make sure you've actually got that on film, because you might not be able to see that. There we go. So yes, you would have seen that we've got this extra bracket here. And that is because when we measured our room out, we measured our shelves, it meant basically, because of the design of this house, we can't get our full length boards up the stairs. The stairs ends in like a T-junction, and there's not enough room for us to turn the boards. We just can't get them in. So unfortunately, we're going to have to cut them. We did look at trying to get them through the window. Again, more problems. So I thought, well, what the hell? We'll just cut them. Now, because we've cut them, we've put the extra upright in, and that gives us two brackets side by side, which means that we can have our cut in the middle of the brackets and they will sit on the edge. We'll make this, it will be very clear as we go along. Now we've cut this board, and this is going to be our lowest shelf. And that is going to be there. Now the reason we've gone for this one is because this board here, I personally would prefer to have a thicker board. If you can, when you're doing your shelving, go for the thicker boards. Thin boards tend to warp, they move around. They also are really bad for vibration. So your spiders, remember, your spiders are in a sensory world. They literally negotiate their world through vibration. So for us to keep a happy spider, it would make sense that we try and keep them with as least amount of vibration as possible. With a thin board like this is what, 1/2 inch I think, it will actually vibrate quite a bit. We got this one here because our frogs are going to go in here, and we need the wider board because they're in a 45 by 60 Exoterra. So we need the wider boards. But going forward with our spiders, they will be on heavier boards. So we've got like a 2-inch thick board that we use for those. And we got them from In Excess. Now there's In Excess stores all up and down the country. Check them out. They're really good for their timber. I get a lot of my timber from them. Now, like I say, the thick boards are really where we want to be. They're a really, really good way to go, and they solve a lot of that vibration. And I'm sure it's helped out with our breeding, especially with our females on egg sacs, because they're not getting the vibration that they would through this thin stuff. So that is where we are. Now what we're going to do now, these will go under there like so. What we're going to do now is we're going to go down and we're going to cut a few more boards. We need to just do a little bit of measuring. As you can see, I'm on my own today, and camera lady is busy off at work, so we're fending for ourselves today. So what we're going to do, we are just going to measure our board here. We want to go from there, so we're going to make that 171 and a half. 171 and a half. That will do us. That will be perfect. Right. 171 and a half. And then what we'll do is we'll cut the first one, put it in place, then we'll measure and we'll cut the second one. Much easier to do a secondary cut. Right then, let's go cut some boards. Right, so we've got our, we're all set up, we've got our brackets in. So now we've been and cut two of the shelves to give you an idea of what's going to come forward. So, what we're going to do, we've got our shelves here. Now these are nice thick shelves. So we put that one in there. You can see now with the two brackets side by side, it gives us the extra bracket here. The last thing we want to do is have a join of a shelf where there's no support. So it's very important that we get support. So we've got support from this bracket here, and we'll have support on the next shelf, this one here. Very, very important. So we're going to get the next one in here, and we've cut them to size. And as you can see, now this one's a little bit snug. So what we're going to do, we're going to lift that one up, place that one in there. I'd rather have them a little on the snug side, because again, this will help with vibration. It will stop a lot of it. Now, as we were saying about the vibration before, these are nice thick shelves, really nice and thick, solid shelves, and they absorb an awful lot. So it doesn't actually pass it on to your spider, which is what we're looking for really. This is where we want to be. So anyway, this is going to be the shelving here, and then what we'll do now is we'll work out the next height. We're not going to get as many spiders in this room as we did in the old Beastie room. So we need to really think about how we're going to keep stuff for the time being and how we're going to go moving forward. Do we go for the tall 30 by 45 exos that we used to have on the bottom shelf? You know, they were very, very tall. Or do we just stick with the 20 by 30s? If we do the 20 by 30s, we can probably gain another shelf. The only reason we tended to use the 30 by 45s was purely for some of the larger pokies and the Sabar blues and things like that, because they do actually benefit from having that extra space when it comes to pairing. So it's very important that we can pair them up nicely. We can always keep them in the smaller tubs and move them over into pairing tubs, which are basically just big rubs that we can put our two tanks in and allow them to cohabit for a period of time, and then we can move them out again. It's all going to be a little bit of suck it and see what happens. I'm a bit mixed. I'm not sure whether to go with the 45s, because if we go for a 45, we're going to be looking at, where are we? 45 is going to be up here. This is not too terrible. Not too terrible. But let's have a look at it in realistic terms. That's the bottom of the shelf. 40, 45. So we are going to have to be up here. That is where our next shelf. That is where our next shelf will come in. And we can go slightly narrower. Our next shelves will be slightly narrower. These ones down the bottom here, these are 15 inches wide, 38 centimetres. We're going to go to a 30 centimetre up and above this. So it'll give us a little bit more in the room. It'll make the room feel a little bit bigger. It won't be quite so compact. That's the plan. That's what we're trying to achieve. So, do we go 45 or do we go 30? Oh, decisions. It's very difficult. I think we'll probably go 45s. Just so that we can carry on with the breeding side. Just to make life a little easier. Save a bit more space. Right, we're going to go and cut a few more shelves. We're going to go and scratch our head a little bit and see what we got. And see where we end up. Right. I'll see you when we get a few more shelves up on the wall. Hope you're enjoying this. Right, we've started to get some of the shelves in. We ain't too bad now. We're cracking on. And what we decided to do now is we're going to put another rack in this side as well. And this is going to, we've had a bit of a rethink. And instead of putting the frogs over on this side, I'm going to put the frogs down in here. So they've got their own little bit down the bottom here. And then we also need somewhere for like slings and bits and pieces, just a small, you know, the odds and sods that you sort of carry out in boxes and bits and pieces. So we're going to put them up here. So what we're going to do now is we're literally, I've already put the beginning of it, the beginning of the rack is already in. So we're just now going to tighten it up. This will be we've done exactly the same as the other side. So we've done it exactly the same, but we've got shorter boards. These are 9-inch boards, same thickness as this stuff here, but these are a 9-inch one. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just offer one up to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. I think these ones will probably do. Perfect. So what we can do, we can have them so that they are there. And what we can do now is we can play around with this as much as we like until we get it where we want it. So we're going to put this board here. There we go. And if you can imagine, our frogs will be underneath. So they'll have obviously a wider board. They need to be 45 centimetres. So our door, we can still gain nice access through here. We don't want to be too cluttered, especially when we've got boards up here. They're going to be at head height. So we always have to be a little bit aware of that. We've got 3 more of these boards that we can put in. That's going to give us so much more in terms of actual shelf space. And because we're limited, we really are limited to how much room we have in here, we've got to optimize it as best as possible. So I think this, going forward, this is the way to go. So what we'll do is we'll go and get the other boards, and then we'll put the brackets up and we'll just see what it looks like. We can put the brackets up now. So we can come over here. Now this is the good thing with this stuff, is it never gets old. It lasts forever. That one's too long. That one's right. So what we do, we just imagine it where we want our shelves. So we'll just sit that one there. One there. Bear in mind, this is literally just to give us an idea. Nothing else. That's all it's going to do. Right, bear with me. I will go and get the 2 other shelves and we'll just see how they look. Here we are. Oh, that's the only downside to keeping things in the garden, because there's nowhere else to put it. Right. So I think these are both the same, aren't they? Right. So we get this one up here. This is one that had a join in it. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So there we go. That just gives us a little idea of the extra space that we've managed to achieve by having this in here. Now I'm going to go and cut the lower one now. So we need to cut that, and we'll get that in place. We'll see where that looks. That's going to be the important one for when we come into the room, because it's going to be sitting out at 45, which is sort of there. Doesn't allow a lot of space. So we will just have to check that out. 110 there. We can go shorter. Right. We'll cut it at 49.5, which is what that was. And then we can always cut it again if needs be. Right, I'll see you shortly. Right, here we are. We've got our board cut. As you can see, it's a much wider board. This is going to be much better for the frogs. Now, we just need to check our heights, because don't forget, we don't want our frogs on the floor. So we can literally put that there, our brackets. There we go. So that'll be okay there, like so. Like so. And then what that does is that allows us more storage for our roaches or any bins that we want to put under there with substrate in or anything like that. This is the thing, you need storage space. Right. Oh, there we go. And we've still got enough room to walk through here without it causing any issues. That's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Really good. So now all we've got to do is get the main shelves in on the other side. We need to get them through the window because I haven't got enough timber, so we're going to have to try and get them up and bring them in the awkward way. So we've got 3 more boards to come in, and then we just need to cut in 3 more fillers, and we're there. We can also drop these shelves here as well. We can just about see them in picture. Yeah. So what we can do, we can lower these ones now, because these were originally set at 60 for the frogs. But what we'll do now, because the frogs are going to go over there, we'll drop this one down to the 45, and that will give us an extra height, hopefully, and give us a bit of storage up on the very top shelves. That's the plan. So we will see. Right. Until we get the next ones in, I'll see you in a moment. We'll give them a go. Just, it needs to be kept this way, yeah?
Yep. Shelf at the top.
So if you get hold of it, you can poke it through the window a little bit. Hold it there. This will keep you fit.
Okay.
Right, okay?
Yep.
Hold on. Put it down.
We're in.
We're in.
Just how big and strong.
That's one. Next one. You good? Got it?
Yeah.
These bloody stairs. Here we are again. A little bit at a time again. Alright. Hold it there a minute.
Yep.
Got it?
Yep. You got it?
Yeah. Oh, that got heavy when you let go.
Yeah. So I sporty to a point. Go on, muscles. Up, up, up. Oh.
Trying to get it round there. Right, next one. Last one.
Well done, Dave. Wrong way, isn't it?
No, that's it.
Okay.
You good? Right. Ready? So bloody heavy, aren't they?
Yeah. Well, a bit of thick wood, Dave.
Yeah.
Come on! Bring her in. No cutting wide.
That's it. We are done. Teamwork. Teamwork makes for a happy day.
Go for tea now.
You go for tea? Tea. Wait there. Don't go down that ladder until I get there.
Okay.
She's dangerous.
Clumsy he's looking for.
Yes, you are clumsy.
Clumsy.
Where are you?
I'm here.
I can see you. You're hiding.
You can't get the ladder. It's raining out here, everybody.
Okay. All right, hello guys. That is all the shelving in now. We've managed to get the long shelves in through the window. That was a bit of an epic job. We got them all in. We've got everything fixed in now. So everything is solid. We've got the other side built up over here. We'll have a little look at that in a second. And then basically now, so what we're going to do now, we've got the main structure stuff in. So that's all of our shelving in, all in secure. We're ready to start taking tanks. Well, no, we're not ready. What we're going to do is we need to start sorting out the lighting. Now we're going to use different lighting for some bits. Some shelves we won't have any lighting on at all. We won't worry about it. I really want to play around with the lighting, but that's going to be for another day. So we'll see how that goes. What we'll do now, we'll have a quick little look and see what the room holds. As you can see, we've got over here. This is we've had a bit of a change around, and the bottom shelf down here, this is what we're going to use for the frogs. So we're going to put them over here because it meant that on this side we could keep all our shelves level with going around the corner. And then we're going to use this for like slings, 20 by 20 enclosures, stuff like that. It'll all go through, it'll all fit in, all runs in with a desk. So we are good to go. Hopefully, I hope so. Anyway, and then what we're going to do then is we've got the alcove over here. There's a cupboard in the back there. This is all going to be emptied out, and we're going to shelve this out so we can use this for storage. And then we've got our main workbench here. So it's all coming together, slowly but surely. But I think that's going to be it. I think that's how we're going to do for now. So what we're going to do, I'm going to come back over here, and then hopefully you get a good idea of where everything's going now. You can see how the shelves fall around. It's going to look very, very different once we're full of spiders. So that is going to be about it for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video. It gives you some ideas of what we're going to do and how we've actually done it. I noticed on Facebook we've had a few people message us saying that they're actually starting their own rooms. So hopefully this will give you some inspiration, just some ideas, and you can see how easy it was to put it together. It's not that difficult. You don't need a whole load of stuff to be able to achieve this. So it's not a bad thing really. Right then, I think that's about done it. Our next video, we're going to cover some of the lighting, I think, and we're also going to do some of the heating. We're going to run into the heating because we'll often get asked about that. So we'll probably cover a little bit of that as well. And hopefully we'll have a few tanks up on the shelves by then as well. But we'll see. Right then, don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I will see you soon, guys.